This is the Piper Cherokee 235, the often overlooked high-performance aircraft that is a true four-seat capable of carrying a full load of passengers and fuel. The Cherokee line began its life in the late 1950s when Piper Aircraft sought to introduce a new line of single-engine models to complement and eventually replace the Piper Tri-Pacer. From this vision, the Piper Cherokee emerged, debuting in 1960 with the PA-28 160 model. Starting in the 1960s, Piper proved to be the absolute master of taking a single design and turning it into a bewildering variety of airplanes. The PA-28 Cherokee started life as a basic four-place, fixed-gear single with a 160 horsepower engine, positioned opposite the Cessna Skyhawk. Before all was said and done, the PA-8 had been mutated into everything from the lowly Cherokee 140 up to the Turbo Aero 4. The Cherokee 235 represented the top end of the fixed-gear PA-28 line with a D-rated Lycoming 540 engine mated to the basic Cherokee airframe. It was brought to market less than 3 years after the original Cherokee hit the scene, and aside from the engine, the only significant difference between the Cherokee 235 and its less powerful siblings was an extra 2 feet of wingspan. But why is this aircraft often overlooked? Stay with us till the end of the video because here is everything you need to know about the Piper Cherokee 235. Stepping inside, the cabin measures approximately 44 inches or 1.12 meters in width and 47 inches or 1.20 meters in height, providing ample room for pilot and passengers. The entry door located on the co-pilot's side is wide and allows for easy ingress and egress, a feature not overlooked by those who frequent this aircraft model. In later models with more seat adjustments in both the front and rear and better attention to seat shape, the 235 is better than the average light plane over long stage lengths. A number of owners have commented on seat design as a plus. We agree, and not only for comfort reasons. Piper is one of the only manufacturers to pay attention to crashworthiness of their seats. The S-shaped seat frame deforms on impact, absorbing energy. Especially after the fuselage stretch was introduced in 1972, the 235 series provides reasonable comfort for 4 people. The front seat passenger actually has an easier time keeping out of the pilot's way than in a Bonanza. The Dakota is roomier still. The seating arrangement is typical of the PA-28 family, with 2 seats in front and up to 3 in the rear, though the rear seating can be a tight fit for 3 adults. The seats themselves are upholstered and can be adjusted fore and aft, which provides some customization for pilot and front passenger legroom. The upholstery, while not luxurious, strikes a good balance between durability and comfort. Noise levels in the cabin are moderate, typical of the Cherokee line, with sufficient soundproofing to make communication via headsets clear without excessive interference from engine or airflow noise. The environmental controls are basic but effective, including adjustable air vents and a simple heating system. Air conditioning is not typically standard, but can be found in some upgraded or aftermarket configurations. The lighting is adequate for night flights, with overhead and instrument panel lights that provide sufficient illumination without being intrusive. And finally, storage space within the cabin is generous for an aircraft of this size. The area behind the rear seats can accommodate a maximum capacity of 200 pounds or 90 kilograms of luggage or cargo, and with the rear seats folded down, the available space increases significantly, allowing for the transport of larger items or increased amounts of gear, which is a plus for pilots looking to use the 235 for recreational or business trips that require extra equipment. Now let's step into the cockpit. Cockpit layout is typical Piper, which is to say that it's good in our opinion with the exception of the engine instruments. While there is a certain logic to putting the tachometer and manifold pressure gauge near the throttle, we prefer to see the critical power plant information up high and near the pilot's line of sight. The late model Bonanza is about as good as it gets in a single. From an operational standpoint, fuel management raises pilot workload in the earlier models. In the Dakota, it is a relatively simpler matter of maintaining reasonable lateral balance. Fuel management is handled via fuel quantity gauges and, in some models, fuel flow meters that help in calculating range and endurance. The primary flight controls consist of a yoke rather than a stick, which controls the ailerons and elevators, and rudder pedals that are adjustable in some models to accommodate pilots of different heights. This is complemented by straightforward, easy-to-reach throttle, mixture, and propeller control levers located on the lower central panel, allowing for intuitive manipulation during flight. Instrumentation in the stock form of the Tu-35 traditionally includes the basic six-pack arrangement familiar to most pilots. This consists of the airspeed indicator, attitude indicator, altimeter, turn coordinator, heading indicator, and vertical speed indicator, arranged for easy scan in line with flying training practices. The standard avionics package in early models was relatively basic, as befits aircraft of its time, often including only VHF communication and navigation radios, and a transponder. However, the Tu-35 is a popular model for avionics upgrades. Modern GPS navigation systems, such as those from Garmin's GTN series, are common additions, along with upgraded multifunction displays and glass cockpit elements in higher-end refurbishments. Autopilot systems, while not standard in the original configurations, are a frequent modification to the Tu-35. When installed, these systems typically integrate with existing avionics to provide basic autopilot functions such as heading hold and altitude pre-select. In upgraded Tu-35s, communication radios are often replaced with modern, digital units that offer clearer transmissions and improve reliability over older analog radios. Navigation aids beyond VOR, IRLS receivers often include GPS, which is indispensable for IFR navigation and greatly benefits VFR pilots in terms of situational awareness and route planning. Now let's talk about the engine, performance specifications, and how it flies. The Piper Cherokee Tu-35 is powered by a Lycoming 0540 B4B5 engine with a TBO of 2,000 hours, delivering 235 horsepower. This is a six-cylinder, normally aspirated power plant renowned for its durability and performance, with direct drive and air-cooled features that contribute to a simpler and more robust design, reducing maintenance complexities and enhancing operational reliability. The aircraft requires 1,050 feet or 320 meters of runway to take off at sea level on a standard day, with a useful of 1,450 pounds or 655 kilograms, and a full fuel payload of 760 pounds or 345 kilograms. The engines allow a maximum rate of climb per minute of 825 feet or 250 meters, and a ceiling of 15,500 feet or 4,725 meters. The plane cruises at about 130 knots at 65% power at around 8,000 feet. At that power setting, it burns around 12 gallons per hour or 45 liters per hour door-to-door. With all 84 gallons or 320 liters sloshing in the tanks, 2 mains and 2 tips, you have room for 4 FA area occupants plus 200 pounds or 90 kilograms of baggage, plus 20 pounds or 9 kilograms more of the normal stuff we all keep in our own airplanes: books, flashlights, survival gear, etc. At that weight, it carries almost 250 pounds or 115 kilograms more payload than the vaunted 182, at similar speeds and ranges. And finally, the aircraft has a maximum range of 750 nautical miles, which is 865 miles or 1,390 kilometers, and a minimum landing distance of 1,150 feet or 350 meters. Now let's talk about the price and cost. The purchase price for a used Piper Cherokee Tu-35 is $50,000 to $150,000. And while the annual fixed cost is estimated at $15,000 to $25,000, the average hourly operating cost is estimated at $150 to $250. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Here are 2 videos you can watch next. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.